Now, what's a principal agent relationship? See, I'll give you two examples. Airbnb, okay, and Oyo is another example. So, what is the difference between Airbnb and Oyo? Most importantly, Airbnb do not hold the properties. It's just a listing site. You go, you choose the property. So there are a list of these are the list of property sellers who are ready to let their property on rent. So these are property owners, and this is an interface. That interface is Airbnb, and here you have all the buyers. So basically, the customers who would want to go and stay in these properties. What does Airbnb do? Airbnb is acting as an agent of the owners who are the principal. So what is it doing? It is build a marketplace where all these owners can register themselves, and the customers would come and visit that marketplace, and then they would go and book that property. Who gets the money? Who gets the money? Airbnb gets the money. So when the customer pays, Airbnb gets the dollar. Airbnb will cut their commission from that dollar, and then the balance will be transported and the balance will be refunded to the property owners. So typically, who will book the sales revenue in their books, guys? In this case, who will book the sales revenue in their books? Write in the chat panel, okay? Who will book the sales revenue in their books? And no, incorrect. Who will book the sales revenue in their books? No, no, Nagesh. How can the sales revenue come in Airbnb? You remember, agent cannot book sales in his books, isn't it? Airbnb is just the agent. When the money comes, Airbnb will have to refund the money to the property owners and just deduct a portion which is their commission. If it's not a directly owned property, Airbnb is just managing the rentals of that property by giving an interface between the property owners and the customers. So Airbnb cannot book the sales in their books. Is this clear, guys? We spoke about the journal entries, right? When MG Hector is selling their car through the dealer, when the dealer sells the car, the dealer does not book the sales revenue. What is a journal entry in the book? So let's say, I'll take an example. Let's say there was a property that was booked for $10,000, and Airbnb's commission, let's say, was 10%. What is the journal entry when the customer will pay? That means, what is a journal entry in Airbnb's book, and what is a journal entry in the customer's book? Yeah, I get cash, which is good. So in Airbnb's book, you get cash. So cash gets debited. What gets credited? So let's assume that there's a property that I have in Calcutta, and I choose to put a part of that. See, Airbnb, the best thing is you don't need to take out the full property and give it away. So let's say I have a two-floor building and I want to take two rooms in the upper floor and put it on Airbnb. I can do that, right? So let's say I create an account on Airbnb and I list my property and I give all the reviews and everything on Airbnb. And then there's somebody else who is somewhere staying abroad and he wants to experience or she wants to experience the Calcutta culture. And that person goes to Airbnb and that person books my property. So in that case, that Airbnb will book a payable to me. How much? Net of commission amount, which is $9,000. What would be the entry in the books of mine? And if I have to book this as a sale, because the moment Airbnb makes a sale, I have a visibility because I have an account. What is the journal entry? I will pass in my books. Yes, guys? What will be the journal entry? I will pass in my books when the sale happens. So, what will be the property owner? So, what will be the journal entry in property owner's books? So, general rule, there'll be a commission, right? So, there will be a sales that will be 10,000 to commission sales, yeah, will be 9, commission will be 1,000, and no, no, my bad, guys, sorry, I cannot even undo this. Wait. So what will be the journal entry in the property owner's book? So journal entry in the property owners, so this is property owner and this is Airbnb. So I have made the sales will be for 10,000. There would be a commission. The commission would be for 1,000. For me, it's a P&L debit, which is an expense. And there would be receivable from Airbnb, which is a receivable account. and this will be $9,000. Actually, even in case of the consignee, this is the entry the consignor should pass and book the commission expenses. You cannot just book it net. And in Airbnb's book, when they get the money, they get the full amount, which is 10,000. They will retain a part of their money as their commission income, which is 1,000. And the balance they will have to pay to the property owner, which is $9,000. Is this clear? So what we're trying to tell you is the person who's acting as a principal will book the primary sales revenue. The person who's acting as an agent will not have the primary sales revenue. The only income that person will make will be the commission income for the sale that happens. That's the model that Airbnb has. Oyo, a lot of rooms that Oyo have are also self-owned rooms. So if it's your own property, then you act as a principal. If it is somebody else's property and you're just licensing the sellers and the buyers, then you're an agent, and the only commission that you can book is your commission for the sale, not the sale. Okay? 1 second. So we did all of this. Let's go to will and hold we did. Yeah, this was the principal agent relationship. Okay? Look at the question. Look at the question, and I would want you guys to answer. On Jan 1, year 1, A enters into a contract with T company for the sale of a machinery with unique specifications. Okay? A and T develop the specifications and A contracts with P company to manufacture the machine. So this is A, this is T. So this is the seller, this is the buyer. Now T is going to give the contract to A and A is going to subcontract it to P to manufacture the machine. P will deliver this. So when the subcontracting happens, and then P is going to deliver the goods, the final goods directly to T. P will deliver the machine to T when it is completed. A agrees to pay P how much? $300,000 on delivery of the machine. A and T agree to the selling price. So this is going to be a 350. That means A's margin is going to be $50,000. That is going to be A's margin, which will be paid by T to A. So T will pay A $350,000 and then A will pay P $300,000, keeping a margin of $50,000 to himself. A's contract with T requires T to seek remedies from defects from P. If there's anything wrong with the machine, T would go and seek the remedy from P. But A is responsible for any corrections due to errors in specifications. But if P got anything wrong because of specifications not being met, P will not be reimbursed by T, P will be reimbursed by A. Okay? Now tell me in this case, is A acting as a principal or is A acting as an agent? A is enjoying the risks and A is the one who is determining the rewards also, right? A is the one who is managing the contract. If there's anything going wrong, the risk is of A. P is just acting as an agent and fulfilling the contract that A has made with T. P is not having any direct risk, neither is T having any reward directly from T. Think of it like this, okay? Think of it like ITC. You know, most of the ITC biscuits and all those food products are all made by the outside contract manufacturing now. Are you aware of it? Biscuits, atta, everything is outside contract manufacturing. They have 2-3 years contract. None of that is happening in ITC factories. They're all subcontracted, okay? So imagine ITC is making a Sunfeast biscuit pack, okay? And then the manufacturer, ITC will lay down what is the quality control. ITC will have their own quality control people. Everything will be done by ITC. Now ITC has a major contract with a party. Okay, so let's say that party is an outside overseas party where an export order has to be fulfilled. For logistics purposes, ITC says everything is managed by ITC. The product, the packaging, the specification, everything is done by ITC. But now for simplicity, we have advised the outside. So let's say there's an outside contract manufacturer somewhere in the Uttarakhand area. And then the OCM is directly asked to ship to the overseas contractor. In this case, who do you think is having the main risk and reward? Is it the OCM just because the delivery is happening directly, or is it ITC? So it's the same thing, isn't it? Isn't it the same thing? I am the one who's contracting with T. We are talking about the specifications. A is taking the risk. Even if there's something wrong, A will have to rework it and get it done to T. The only relationship between P and T is manufacturing and delivering. P is neither able to influence the reward, right? Can P say instead of 350, it will be 380? No. P is just being an agent of A. Just like ITC, when they subcontract, the subcontractor or the OCM manufacturer. See, tomorrow if A wants, A can convert P to B. When you determine who is the agent, who is the principal, you need to see who is the one who's taking the principal risk and who is the one who's determining the rewards. If whoever is, because see, the questions that you will get in your exam would be pretty, so in this case actually this is a distractor. The fact that you're delivering the machine directly is a distractor because that could be totally logistics. So the way you have to think is who is the one who's determining the reward, who is the one who's bearing the ultimate risk if the product is wrong. Whoever it is the principal and the other party is the agent. When you build up a mental map, build up a mental map in such a way that in every scenario, you know, okay, risk, reward, whoever is having that. So, who will book the sales in their books? A. Who will book the commission in the books? P. Not P. Actually, for P also, it's a sale, but it will be a sale from P to A. In a relationship like this, they will see P is also into a business, right? So, for P, it will be a sale when that goods are delivered. So it's, I'm not saying that P will not book the sale. P will book the sale in its book, but in this scenario, it will be a contract between P and A. Because agent and the principal, there is also a contract between the two of them. But in this scenario, A is acting as a principal and not as an agent. Is this clear? So basically, who is the principal? Principal is the one who controls the goods and services before it is transferred to the customer and it recognizes the revenue in its books. The agent is an entity who's acting as a liaison to arrange for the customer to be provided with the goods and services by the principal. The revenue that you recognize is the commission here.